Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. I have a few stories for you in this very latest Moon Lambo Hot Jam, including this one from you today. 125.3 million XRP moved by Ripple and top exchanges, while XRP gains 10%. Indeed, market's looking rather favorable lately, is it not? And not surprisingly, there's all sorts of XRP getting shifted around, including by top exchanges. Liquidity adjustment is always a thing in perpetuity. It's a sign, or it can be, of healthy markets. Depends on where the XRP in question is flowing and why it's flowing. And then there's this headline from the Daily Hodl. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tron, XRP worth $97 million looted in massive crypto exchange hack. And so this is another cautionary tale. There's a reason I want to bring this up. But it's the case that over 11 million XRP was stolen. And then I have a Twitter thread that I want to share with you that was initiated by an XRP community member. I just happened to come across it, and I found it interesting. And this individual said some stuff that I thought made some sense, some other things where I feel a little bit differently. And I love to have just little critical thinking exercises, and I love diversity of thought. So I'm going to share with you my take on what this individual said, and would also love to hear what your thoughts are in response to this in the comment section below. And to be clear, as is always the case, when I challenge ideas or say I believe something different than someone else, that is not an attack on them. I know sometimes people, when they are told no, that's wrong, sometimes they feel like it's some sort of personal attack. Absolutely not. I just think it's fun to engage in these types of conversations. So just so that nobody's confused, I'm always crystal clear about that. Hopefully to an annoying degree, because then I'm doing what I intended. But look, before I go further, I want to be clear, I don't have a financial background of any kind. I'm not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos as a very fun hobby. And so what happened with this XRP getting stolen? Not good stuff. And again, this is a cautionary tale, so listen up. If you're one of the people that maybe is relying a little bit too much on cryptocurrency exchange security, you might want to reassess your position. Japanese cryptocurrency exchange Liquid Global just suffered a massive hack, losing control of tens of millions of dollars in top crypto assets, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tron, and XRP. Blockchain analytics firm Elliptic is tracking the hack and tallying up the numbers. The firm says $97 million in cryptocurrency has been stolen, according to the blog post. And here's a quote from it. This includes $45 million in Ethereum tokens, which are currently being converted into Ether using decentralized exchanges such as Uniswap and SushiSwap. This enables the hacker to avoid having these assets frozen, as is possible with many Ethereum tokens. And you can see on the screen, this is the distribution if you care to be looking. If not, if you're walking your dog or whatever, don't driving, keep your hands on the wheel at 10 and 2, damn it, lest you become crashed into an animal. Perhaps like a fish, you don't want none of that. You ain't got no time to get aquatic, you're driving a car. But if you can look, you can see the breakdown. So XRP, at the time of writing anyway, the dollar amount was is $12.9 million worth of XRP. You hate to see it. And so look, most XRP holders, I believe it's the case, I believe that the strong majority of XRP holders do not have possession of their XRP, which is to say they have their XRP on cryptocurrency exchanges. And look, I think that the vast majority of cryptocurrency exchanges are operating in good faith, but things happen. Even if you're even if you have the best, most top-notch security, do you really want to have your XRP at risk? To me, it's not worth it. To me, it's not worth it. So all of my XRP is off exchange. It's not going back on exchange until I'm ready to sell it, period. That's it. And it moves so quick. It's like I don't have to worry. It's not like it's Bitcoin. And if I want to sell it on a particular day, I have to worry about potentially not being able to sell it until tomorrow based on network congestion. Like I don't have to worry about it. It's XRP, right? But I really do believe that the vast majority of humans have not taken that step to get their XRP off exchange. And yeah, it feels fine until suddenly something happens, even if it's very unlikely. Do you want to be one of the few that actually runs into the problem? Because if it's gone, it's gone. And good luck going after the exchange saying you were, basically incompetent or whatever, making legal claims. You can do that, and perhaps you'd be right. But to me, it's just not worth dealing with any of that. And so for me, the answer was to just get a damn hardware wallet and move that XRP to an address that only I control. And also, if you do that, just by the way, you got to be careful to not fall for scams. Like, I tell you what, if you get to hardware wallet and they have a written down on paper a 24-word seed phrase, especially if you have a ledger product. Just heads up, don't you light that thing on fire and don't use it. Okay, seriously, because what they're going to do is they'll just have you enter a wallet, a key for a wallet that they control, and then you'd move your XRP in or whatever crypto, and then it's just gone forever. So just be aware of stuff like that. But I mean, those are rare instances, so I don't want to scare you out of using a hardware wallet either. By and large, I think history has shown they've by and large been better options than keeping cryptocurrency on exchanges anyway. But just be diligent. Don't do stupid things like take pictures of your 24-word seed phrase. If you're gonna write it down, then write it down fine, and keep it somewhere. I mean, you really need who's gonna commit it to memory, right? But like taking pictures of it, okay, then what if your phone gets hacked and then you lose everything anyway? So it's just, you got to be smart about this stuff. But there are ways forward. Now onto this thread. And this was written by XRP community member C3 Nick. And a chunk of this I really do agree with, and some of it I feel a little bit different. And so I thought it'd be fun to just kind of run through this. I enjoy thinking through stuff like this and would love to hear all alternative perspectives. Maybe you agree with me on some or all of this, maybe you don't. And that's fine. But if I get any of this wrong, let me know where you think I'm getting it wrong in the comment section below. But here's what C3 Nick wrote. I think we may get the news who bought the dip at an opportune time. Just coincidental, of course. It is flabbergasting that people still don't understand how the game is being played. Okay, so right there, I think I know what he's getting at here, which is this idea that, scary, I think what he's trying to get at is scary news, price go down, good news, price go up. And if that's what he means, and I could be a little bit off in terms of what he's trying to get at exactly, if that's the way that he's saying it goes, I actually do disagree a little bit. I would say it's more like price go up, then good news stories come, or if price goes down, then the bad stories come. Because whatever's happening in the moment, you'll find, what media does is they find reasons of whatever's happening in the moment to, and they attribute whatever's happening in the moment to that price action. When really, you could find all sorts of, even when the price is going down, you could find good stories too, but why are you going to do that when the price is going down, right? And so they don't. So it's not like it's some big conspiracy by and large. It really is the case that, whatever direction it's going, people are looking for the reason for that and they write stories about it. That really is it. But the stories, it's true also, they can have an impact on how people think and feel, and so I'm not denying that either. I'm just saying that price happens first in the vast majority of price movements, not exclusively, but in the vast majority of them, with a good example of the opposite being the case of when the SEC went after Ripple. Oh, that was absolutely the news, determining the price action for the short term anyway of XRP. So of course there are exceptions, but yeah, just be aware of that. And then he writes, emotions and lack of knowledge rip them apart instead. Easy targets. The 95% will lose. And so I'll say this, I don't know what percentage of humans are going to lose money investing in crypto. It very well may be the majority. It could be, because I think a lot of people are making stupid decisions. I don't have data on that though. Other than, I will say this, there was an article, and I don't think I covered it on my channel, but I read it. It may have been from several days or so ago. And it was something, I know that it was the case, according to this data that I read, that the majority of people in crypto are actually in profit. But I was also sitting there thinking, okay, and I can't remember what the time frame was, but I was thinking, okay, yeah, but we're way up from where we were a year ago, and even lately markets have started to rebound a bit, so that kind of didn't seem bonkers to me. But I'm wondering, if you had to redo that story by the time this bubble is popped and then drained and we're back in the bear market, is that still going to be true? And I'm willing to bet the answer is no. I'd need data to be sure, of course. I'm guessing no. So I think a lot of people are going to lose money, but that doesn't mean there's not opportunity. And so let me read a little bit further. What takes them decades in traditional markets can be done in crypto in a matter of years. Boom, 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 boom. Yes. So that could not agree more. So I got to pause there. I've been saying it for the longest damn time. The quickest way to make the most money in life is to invest in crypto. Now, it doesn't mean there's no risk. It doesn't mean everybody that just does it haphazardly is going to find success. That is not what I'm saying, but I'm saying the opportunity is there for people that have an idea of what they're doing and execute well, basically, which does require not responding emotionally. It does require having a sufficiently long-term time frame in mind, and a number of other things that I've been talking about on this channel. But yeah, in terms of the crypto markets generating truly life-changing wealth for people in a short period of time, it's a real thing. And the reason it's possible is because crypto markets are very illiquid and a ton of money is getting thrown into it. Now, obviously, there are those huge pullbacks, like I say, bear markets that go on for years. Less money comes in, more so money coming out. Got it. Fine. But we've been trending upwards for about 12 years now, and crazy amounts of money have been pouring in. And so for the people that are there before those big chunks of money come in, you get this tremendous multiplier effect. But that's not the case with, for instance, the stock market. Yes, the stock market goes up, but there's way more money invested in that, so it takes a lot more money coming in to get it just to double one time. And so, yes, it's true. What may take a decade or 2 or 3, whatever it is, it can happen in a much shorter time period, whether it's a year or 2 or 3. And it's also partly dependent upon where you're falling in terms of where the bear market versus the bull market is. So there are other factors. I don't want to pretend like this is an overly simple thing, but yes, it can be done, and to me that's exciting. And I don't think you have to be a genius to figure this stuff out. Just inform yourself and understand that there's risk, and there's no guarantee that everything's going to turn out the way that you think and hope that it will. So as long as you're calibrating for risks, then yeah, it makes all the sense in the world to me. And then he continues though. People think this is a transfer of wealth from the top to bottom in total, ? It won't be. Mark my words. Just give them a few more years. And then he writes, P.S. leverage acts as additional fuel. So this is the question. Because there's long been this narrative, and he's right in pointing this out. There's been this narrative that, the wealth is getting transferred from like the institutions and the most wealthy on the planet to those that are not as wealthy. Well, I think both are happening. I do think both are. And so especially in the early days before institutions got in, by and large, it was people getting money transferred to them by other people that were already rich, because all the money was pouring in. So yeah, there are all sorts of people that came from modest means and then just had absolutely insane amounts of money all of a sudden. So that certainly is true. Now, of course, the more time passes and then there's the more institutions getting in, well, yeah, they're going to enrich themselves as well. But don't let somebody else making money stop you from making money, right? Don't you think? Because there's still the opportunity. And so even if most people don't know what they're doing and they're losing money in crypto because they're bad at recognizing what a bear market is and what a bull market is, and they respond emotionally, even if that's happening, and even if institutions are coming, like, can't you just figure this stuff out? Like, I think the answer is yes. I think the typical person can do this stuff, but you've got to inform yourself, and you got to be aware of the risks, because it is like all of this is risky. Anything you do in life and with investing, there's always a risk to it, right? But I believe that absolutely the everyday man and woman can make a fortune in crypto. I absolutely firmly believe it. And so wealth's going to get transferred to them. And then you can look at the way humans are investing right now. I mean, it's very clear that it's especially like there's generational differences. And so you can think about through inheritance and stuff, older generations, like, when the money hits their children through inheritance, like, there's been so many surveys. I highlight them every time they come up and I come across them, that indicates that those that will be inheriting like trillions of dollars, they have every intention of putting a certain amount of that into crypto. And like, we haven't had that really happen yet. And so there is going to be this huge transfer of wealth, and it's like, do you want to be a part of it or not? Just because, look, like, you could say, like, even if it took 10 years, not that it necessarily has to, market cycles have gone faster than that, but even if it did, it's like, even though that sounds forever away, you know what's going to happen? Eventually, it's going to be 10 years from now, and you're going to be here. And then so it's like, do you want to now set yourself up to enjoy that in the future or not? Which is why I've always had a long-term mindset. I invested first in crypto in November 2017, and I was at break even or most of the time actually below my initial investment for a number of years. But that was part of my plan. My plan was, okay, nobody's paying attention now, but eventually when the money does come back in, because things are cyclical, goes up. And now my holdings are worth way more than they were back then. But that took years of planning. This November, I'll have been in crypto for 4 years. 4 years. So eventually, like back then, 4 years, it sounds like forever away. But the truth is, eventually it's going to be there. So, like, why not just plan for it? And then C3 Nick wrapped up by writing, this market is a gold mine, not for retail, though. And so the first part, this market is a gold mine, oh yeah, firmly agree 100%. The second part where he writes, not for retail, though, firmly disagree. Could not disagree more. I think that it's for retail, but yes, you like, asterisk, fine. Execute properly, have a plan in place, don't emotionally respond, have sufficient timelines. There's a number of other things. But yeah, absolutely. Retail holders, if you just buy and hold and it's something that's going to be around for a long period of time and money keeps pouring into it, well, what the hell do you think is going to happen? And nothing else like this is happening in any other asset class. So you look at something like XRP, it's like, well, if it continues to be useful, what the hell do you think is going to happen? Like, what will it be worth in a decade? Well, if it's going to be here and money keeps pouring in, then I would fathom a guess that the answer is way more than it's worth today. I don't know what the dollar figure would be, but way beyond what people are predicting for this market cycle, which whether they say 10, 20, 30, 50 bucks, I mean, you're talking about a decade from now, you're talking about a couple market cycles out from now, and if XRP indeed continues to be useful and adopted throughout the world and money keeps pouring in, probably way beyond that. So it's like, do you want to set yourself up or do you not? Are you confident in this stuff or are you not? And so I firmly believe that this asset class is here to stay. I think most of the cryptocurrencies that exist today are going to go the way of the dodo, which is my favorite extinct avian creature. But even though that's true as far as I can see, it doesn't matter. And so there's still winners out there, and I'm going to watch as things change, as different types of technology and specific cryptocurrencies get adopted. I'm just going to do my best to make sure I stay informed. And it's so fun and so engaging, so interesting. To follow all this regularly. I'm just genuinely enthralled by it. It just captured me for some reason. It just did. But yeah, absolutely. Despite the fact that institutions are going to come in and they're going to make their buck too, yeah, make no bones about it here. I'm not going to anyway. Like, the everyday person absolutely can experience life-changing wealth. If you would have told me even just few years back, November 2017, when I jumped into crypto, before I did any research, if you're like, hey, just so you know, in the future, you're going to put in this amount, you're going to invest in USD this amount, and then it'd be worth that amount when you're making a YouTube video on your yet-to-be created YouTube channel in August of 2021, I would have said, you want your goddamn mind. I wouldn't have believed you. But it happened. And it can happen. And I didn't expect it until I did my research. And then I was like, oh, wow, there's a real opportunity here. And so there's a reason to be excited for all this, and that's why I'm just going to continue to stay up to date on what's going on. I'm very optimistic for XRP. It's my largest crypto holding currently. I'm very long XRP, but I'm not married to any coin, not even XRP. Because as things shift, if for some reason it doesn't look like it's any longer going to get adopted, guess what? I'm going to tell you. Do you want your head in the sand? Do you want facts? No, I would tell you if I believed that it was no longer viable. But to me, my gosh, it just keeps getting adopted. There's real world utility. It's very exciting what's going on here. Almost no coins have utility, and then XRP has it in spades. It's really impressive. So let me know what you think, but I thought it was a fun topic for conversation. I appreciate C3 Nick's thoughts here for sure. Don't agree with everything said, but I agree with a good chunk for sure. And I don't need people to agree with me for me to like them. So if you want to rip to shreds what I said, do it tactfully, and I still like you. That's good. we go friends. I'll wrap up here, though. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.